Halfway between the village of Herkimer and the city of Little Falls on Route 5 is the Mohawk Valley Country Club, which is home to the Fairways Restaurant.
Hi, my name is Bill Pettengill, owner of the Fairways Restaurant at the Mohawk Valley Country Club.
The Casillo and Pettengill families have been in the restaurant business for 40 years, and they brought their expertise to the Mohawk Valley Country Club, serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week from April until fall.
I've been cooking ever since I can remember. My biggest influences are my grandparents and my mother and father.
Plate night is simple. We make 2 dishes. One is off the menu, and the other is a creation by the chef. And it goes up on the specials board for a week, so you can come into the restaurant and try it out. We'll start with a chicken dish.
Okay, Billy, what are we making?
Well, today we're going to make chicken scarparella. It's legs and thighs, roasted garlic cloves, cherry peppers with the cherry pepper juice, chicken stock, olive oil, some sherry wine, and fresh parsley, and a little bit of salt and pepper. On our menu, it's called Chicken Scarp a la Pizzo. I named it after my grandfather, who used to harvest garlic in Frankfurt, and I used to spend all the summers there harvesting garlic, and every single time I smell roasted garlic, I go back and I think of him.
Yeah,
so it's a little tribute to him.
With chicken scarp at home, you'd start in a frying pan and you give the chicken a bit of a crisp, about 8 minutes. In the restaurant, the chef will use the deep fryer. While the chicken is frying, you add oil and heat to another pan.
Over here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put the meat part down. If you have bones, like on the back there, try to get the hardier parts down first. So now I'm going to add my garlic. Now there's no particular exact measurement, but it's all how much garlic you like. I like garlic. We're going to add that in there. And we're just going to let that brown up a little more. Let the oil get nice and hot.
And the roasted always brings out just that amazing flavor of garlic.
Absolutely. And you want to keep shaking your pan so nothing sticks. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to dump the oil that's in the pan, but we're going to make sure we keep all that nice garlic right in there.
Next up is the sherry wine.
About an ounce, maybe 2 ounces. Again, no exact measurements.
Right.
We're going to let the alcohol burn, deglaze the pan, get those flavors of the garlic and the chicken.
So as the alcohol burns off, it's time to grab a little heat. The cherry peppers.
Mild, medium, hot?
These are medium cherry peppers, I'd say. We're going to hit it with a little bit of the cherry peppers, a little bit of that juice, and chicken stock. This is homemade chicken stock. I heard an old saying, you're only as good as your stocks. So chef is only as good as his stocks. So we make our all our stocks homemade. None of that powder or concentrate. All right, so we're going to let this get up to temperature. A little bit of salt and pepper to taste. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a boil. We already crisped the outside of the chicken, so now we're cooking the inside of the chicken. We're just going to let it get up, get a nice little boil, and kind of keep the chicken nice and tender and moist.
Right.
Okay, so about 5 minutes passes.
All right, we're ready to plate.
And we're up to the time where we plate. And the way this goes, you take out the chicken pieces, and then we're going to put the broth back on the stove to reduce. Using medium-high heat, you'll reduce the broth just to the point where it thickens a little bit. And then it's time to pour it all over top of the chicken. The peppers, the roasted garlic, every ounce of it goes on top of the dish, and there you have it. It's chicken scarp a la Pizzo, which brings us to the best time of all.
Start with the broth.
Start with the broth.
That is good.
Is that good?
It's got that tanginess of the cherry pepper.
The vinegar from the cherry peppers.
Awesome. I really love this dish. This is one of my favorites.
When we get an order for one of these, it smells up the whole dining room, so then everybody wants one.
That's phenomenal.
And the recipe is available up on our website, Chicken Scarp a la Pizzo, or you can go into the restaurant and try it out. It's on the menu now. Now we're up to the chef's special, created by Chef William Pettengill.
Next dish, what are we looking at?
We're going to do filet à poivre. I already got my pre-cut 8-ounce choice filet mignon. Little bit of olive oil on there so it doesn't stick to the grill, and a little bit of Montreal seasoning.
Other ingredients we're using?
We're going to use the cracked black peppercorns. Now you can also buy them whole, crack them yourself, or you can buy them cracked. Buying them cracked is a little more expensive.
Yeah.
Little salt, pepper, heavy cream, and brandy.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to put this on my grill. All right, we're going to let that go to about medium rare. That's my favorite way of having it. Anything higher than medium, you're not going to get, it's not going to be so tender, and it just defeats the whole purpose of a filet mignon. While that's going, we're going to get our sauce going, okay? What we need first is a very hot pan. So we're going to let that get warm.
That's the thing with filet, is it's not it is the most tender.
Yeah.
It's not the tastiest.
Right.
So the sauce comes always
The
with
sauce fillets, yes, absolutely. That is a great point. Sauces go hand in hand with the fillets.
But it's a meat that'll melt in your mouth. You have that with a sauce, and which makes it that great, awesome dish.
Absolutely. Opposed to like a strip or a Delmonico or what have you, there's more fat, more flavors from that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our cracked black peppercorn in here. And we're going to let this get brown on high heat. Just going to flip that. Nice grill marks. Brown those up a little bit now. Be careful because we're going to add the alcohol. This is a little bit of brandy, okay? Now, some people do it from the bottle. That's not the safe way of doing it, so I put it in a cup, and we're just going to hit that real quick, and we're going to let that alcohol burn. The reason why we use brandy is for that oaky flavor, okay? So let that burn a little bit, and we're going to add our heavy cream. A little bit of salt and pepper. And we're gonna keep that on high heat. But with cream, it's very important. You always gotta just keep it moving. Okay, don't let it stay there because then it'll burn and it'll ruin the whole flavor. All right, we're about a minute away, I'd say. So again, keep it moving.
We got a nice thickness here.
Yeah,
now. It's come down by about half.
About half. Yep. And you gotta keep it moving, otherwise it'll separate. Okay. But that is the color that we want. About where we want it to be.
Remember, you're at about 4 minutes per side with high heat on a grill for medium rare.
Now I'm just going to blast it back on high heat just to get that final push. Make sure your food's hot.
This is also the point where you might salt a little bit, make sure you do a little taste test, make sure it's exactly where you want it to be, and then you pour it over top of that medium rare filet, and voila, there you have it, steak au poivre.
This is one of my favorites. Got that perfect.
As they say, it's a beautiful thing.
Perfect medium rare.
That is awesome.
Is that good?
That is really, really good.
It's got a little bit of that bite with the peppercorn, so
but not too much. You know? It's that perfect flavor. Taste a little of that brandy flavor in there.
And when the steak's gone, always use your bread for the rest of the sauce. Don't leave nothing behind.